Brett Perigo, tonight's second place finisher. Plenty of fans here, Brett, and a solid second place finish.
Yeah, I got to shout out the Turn 2 Terribles over there. They're all a bunch of good guys to hang out with and talk to. I really like them.
How are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm talking here. You know who you're talking to? Macho Man! I'm on my way to Monday Night Raw.
How I want to answer the second one.
Your choice.
It's a trap.
I feel like it is. I feel like he's setting up fights in the front stretch is what he's trying to do.
Speedway. Got Devin Gordon with us
at Keen Motorsports Shop here with Kyle Keen.
Sitting here with Sean Keen. We're going to talk a little bit about racing history.
Yep.
Monday, February 2nd, 2026. What's going on? I am Jimmy here with Jay-Z. We are the Turn 2 Terribles. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in tonight. We got a great show planned for you. We have our a special guest with Jayden Wolf gonna join us here in a few minutes. Talk about what's coming up for him in 2026. Some big plans. We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about what we saw at Racing Xtravaganza over the past weekend. The show in York was a great time. We're also going to go over our top 5 most anticipated races for 2026. So if you're in the chat, start thinking of them now. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, and we'll also talk a little bit about Volusia that's going on right now. Looks like the dash is going on right now for the ASCS. Plus, you got the Outlaws starting their Wednesday. As always, thanks everybody who's joining us live in the chat. Magby, Marie, Daniel, Mandy, Santos, Brad, EJ. What's going on, everybody? Thanks you guys so much for tuning in. Want to give a special birthday shout out to Brad Weatherby with Vertical for Life. It's also his birthday today, so shout out to Brad. Do want to appreciate anybody who wished me a happy birthday today. Thank you very much. Yeah, Jay-Z, man, how are you doing tonight?
I'm just happy to be here, ready to get this one going. We can watch a little racing while we talk a little racing. Don't get much better than this. And I saw the weather. We're going to get above freezing one day in the next week or two. So,
wow.
I mean, it'll be above freezing.
But as soon as, we might as well just run the icebreaker a couple weeks early then that day, right?
100%. Line them up.
All right. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's not delay it any longer. Let's bring on our special guest, Jayden Wolf. Jayden. I thought I clicked the button. Come on. There we go.
Maybe he's still
Jayden.
There we go.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Jayden? How are you, man?
I'm all right. How you guys doing?
Good, buddy. Good. Hey, welcome in. Appreciate you coming back on the show. I know we had you. It's been a minute, I think, right?
It's been Well,
least
hell,
2
around
years.
the same time last year.
Or was it last year?
Or was it
2 years?
last year? See,
Yeah,
I
it was
lose
last
track.
year.
I thought I
y-
interviewed people, never did, and then I was like, oh, it's last year. I thought it was 2 years ago. So I don't know.
You know
But
what? It was 2 years ago because last season I didn't know if I was going to run or not.
that's right. You're
So
exactly
yeah,
right.
it's been 2 years.
So, well, let's get into that a little bit. Actually, here, let's do this. Since it's been a little bit of time, we've gained a couple followers, like 3 more maybe since the last time you were on.
Might be 2,
If
but
any,
yeah, probably 3.
maybe 2, maybe 3. Tell everybody a little bit about your racing background, man. Kind of where you got your start, your family's, history in racing, and other relatives, that are involved in the sport in some way or another.
So I started racing at the age of 7 in quarter midgets at Hunterstown. Um, then from then on, I went to the national level, got a couple national championships, national wins. Grew up racing with people like Steven Snyder, Christian Bruno, Briggs Danner, all of them. Um, then went and started running 600s at Trailway, Path Valley, Clyde Martin Memorial. Had some success in them and jumped in the 358 not too much longer after that and had decent success in the 358. Still got plenty of room to grow. And then the family history, my dad's uncle, George Bischoff, he built sprint cars, built sprint car engines, then went on to build NASCAR engines for Darrell Waltrip, and he came on board the last 2 years and started building my engines for me.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I guess since we had you on the show, even leading up to the year we had you on the show, and since it's kind of been a roller coaster for you, both on the racetrack and off the racetrack a little bit, right? So, I think off the racetrack, this sport is not cheap. It takes a lot to get this done financially and run it at a high level. And I think you and Dad and the family really, put that grind on to try to keep you on the racetrack the best you can. So, let's talk about 2025 a little bit. I feel like you were there most of the year. I mean, really going into the year, you weren't sure if you were going to make it at all. Didn't know if you were going to be there at all. And I think all said and done, pretty good season. So talk about 2025 a little bit and kind of the ups and downs that you did have.
Yeah, so we started, we didn't even get a car together till the Thursday before the first race. Like, I didn't get an engine until 2 days prior, didn't get a car built till that week. Like, thankfully, it kind of worked out the way it happened, like, just in the matter of racing, you know what I mean? Like, I had no idea till the week prior, and I had a bunch of all my sponsors came back all at one time. Like, it shouldn't have worked out the way it did. It was a miracle it even happened, and we even made it out to the track that weekend. We didn't even get the car or the timing set till we were actually 2 hours late to the track. I had Aiden Hare pull my pill for me because I was that late. Scrambling to get a trailer. Like, I had a family, the Wanger family, let me borrow their late model trailer, and I used that up till halfway through the season. But yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster without a doubt. I mean, we picked up a win. We were super consistent from halfway to the end of the season. Top 5, top 3s. Pretty much really didn't finish outside the top 5 much from halfway on. But the first half of the year, trying to figure out the new engine program, the new car. The car I ran was wrecked at one point. The front half of the car was clipped, so it took us a while to try and figure out a setup for it because it was not reacting to changes whatsoever. But once we figured that out, yeah, we were pretty consistent. Had a few unfortunate nights that I think cost me the championship, but hell, you never know how that night would have went if that problem never happened regardless. But all things considered, it was a good season.
So how's the program look? You got through the season relatively unscathed. How's the off season going and what's 2026 look like?
So this off season has probably been the best one yet. Very ahead of schedule. Normally, I don't even make it to car shows because we're that far behind. But this year I've been really digging deep, trying to get a head schedule. Landed a couple big sponsors like RHI Magnesita. They came on board this year. Very thankful for them. Ended up I got a half decent trailer for myself. I got 4 cars now, and I'm looking at another engine. So program's going very well as of now. Like I said before, I couldn't do this without my sponsors. This is a sponsor-ran team. This is my second year as a car owner. So I took on that challenge last year as a car owner at 19 years old, and now I'm 20 and sitting fairly well. So could be worse, but very, very grateful for the position I'm sitting in now at my age.
Yeah, I think that it's like I said, I remember kind of think coming on here and talking about like, hey, listen, if anybody's got a ride, anybody's got a car, we're not sure what Jayden's doing. Like, we don't think he's going to be out there. Like, man, this kid, he needs to be behind the wheel of a race car to see it through. I think, from what I've seen, and get you more laps. So, I've been talking to a lot of people here probably the last 2 weeks about their 2026 schedule, and it a lot of guys that would have ran, you know, every Lincoln race on a Saturday night. It doesn't sound like that's the plan for a lot of guys. They're going to mix it up. They're going to go other places. They're going to do other things. They're skipping a lot of Lincoln shows to make sure they hit every Grove show or every BAP show or some of these, Port Royal or, wherever else, Path Valley, if they have whatever, wherever they're going. So, like, what does your schedule look like? Because you were in the points title last year. And with me saying the first point, my next point is this division's wide open this year, right? Dylan Norris doesn't sound like he's going to be back in the six. We haven't gotten any confirmation. Like, I mean, people that know, but we were told that car's, done. So we don't know what that looks like. And, he dominated the second half of the season, which made that points title. You probably win a points title, right? If he doesn't go on a tear like he did. So, we were all talking that this division's wide open for new champions, new winners. So what does it look like for 2026 for you? Have you kind of looked that far and thought, do I want to move around or do I want to go chase some titles?
So this year I'm going to be chasing titles. The goal is Lincoln and BAPS. I'm going to go try and grab them titles because Braden Mickley's family put up a points fund for BAPS. So I'm going to try and get that because I've always loved BAPS. That track's awesome, but I've had some pretty crappy luck there. I mean, I've always ran up front. I've always been in the top 5, but just crappy stuff happens. I mean, it's racing, you know what I mean? But Lincoln definitely want to get the title this year after last year. I was grinding my teeth a little bit when I saw how close it came down to, but can't take it away from Dylan and their team. They went on a tear all year. So he was the one to beat, and I mean, I came up short, but it was close. But yeah, he'll be in the 410 this year. McClellan ended up selling everything, so they don't have any 358 stuff as I know now. So I mean, we got some tough guys in the division, but I really feel that if this is my best opportunity to get a championship this year, so that's the goal.
So that leads me to my next question, and now I'm gonna let Jimmy have a couple here, or any other fan questions. When you look at this division, you kind of look at your competition. Who are some people you got your eye on, right? Because we just talked about Dylan Norris not being around, Aiden Hare moving up, right? They still have a 358, but it needs to be rebuilt for him to run if he's going to. Logan Rumsey's going to make a starter too, here and there in a 358, but it's not going to be significant. Who are some other guys that you have your eye on that are like, okay, you're going to take care of what you got to take care of, but at the same time, you'll know who's racing and who's not. So, what are some people you have your eye on that are going to be kind of giving you a run for your money?
The first couple of names that come to mind is Cameron Merriman. Man, he really started clicking off laps at the end of the year. Tyler Ulrich, he started picking up pretty good. He's always been consistent. But he had some unforgiving luck last year, ended up losing a motor first couple races and didn't really get out to the last half of the year. But he's always been fast when he gets laps under his belt. Can never count out Cody Fletcher. He's been doing it forever. He's always up front. Who else? There's a couple really good guys like Adam Carberry. He comes out every now and then. And I mean, heck, we had a good race last year, and Wyatt ended up getting around me too when I was battling with him. So, and Wyatt's another one. Wyatt's always, when it's around the bottom, he's quick. you can't take it away from them. But just off the top of my head, there's are the couple people that are always really quick in our division.
Yeah, I agree with you. The first name we talked about this last week, I want to say, were Cameron Merriman and Andy Best. They seem to be. Andy has a lot of experience. He's had wins. They seem to go on runs at times. But yeah, a couple of all those names you mentioned make that. Yeah, they're all there. I think so. And again, who knows what's the handicapping and who's the fastest car that gets to the front first, right? Some nights that's just like who got there first kind of thing. So makes that heat race that much more important. Jimmy, what do you got for Mr. Jayden?
Yeah, we got a couple fan questions. First, before I do that, though, remember when we had you on a couple years ago, we talked about grades and stuff like that, So what's your day-to-day looking like now? What's your life outside of racing?
Outside of racing, it's wake up at 5, go to work till 2, then at the gym I go. That's about it. It ain't too special. And then when I'm not doing that, it's iRacing, trying to just keep laps and muscle memory. People, believe it or not, iRacing is the best form of practice. It's the most laps you'll ever get at a racetrack. So I try and do that as much as possible. It's muscle memory. It really helps. Other than that, it's nothing really special.
Where's our league running tomorrow night? You should probably come join us. I think we're racing. I have to look and see what we're racing.
Are we? I thought that was over.
No, we're running Fairbury tomorrow.
Really? What car?
Right.
360.
360s.
Oh, well, I'll be looking out for it. I'd like to join that.
Let's get to a couple fan questions here. Matt Bird asks, Jayden, I know your brother Ryan racing karts, but question of the night, how did you pick your 358 number?
So the 7's been my number ever since I started. It's always been about God. It took 7 days to build the world and whatnot. And I've always thought it as a lucky number 7. So it was lucky up until I got in the sprint cars, really. But yeah, then it was 7W for the last name, just so no one else would take the number. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how I got my number.
Ant Base says Jayden Wolf is my hero. He also
Love
says
you,
hi.
Ant.
He also says, hi, Dad, and happy birthday, Jimmy Jammer. Thank you. Seth Dietrich says, you like the wheeling and dealing game, Jayden.
Don't even get me started on that. Man,
what's he mean by that?
So he's selling a lot of Zane Rudisell's parts, and I went there. I was only supposed to get like 2 things, and I ended up leaving with a trunk loaded stuff. And now he's trying to get me to go back over and buy some more stuff. So, yeah, I don't even want to get started on that. I spent way more than I should have there.
You spent way more than you should have, but listen to me. I've seen you race enough. You're going to hit the wall at Lincoln. I'm trying to run the top. You're going to bend some shit. Get some extras, okay?
Yeah, this year I'm a little more comfortable than last year. Last year I couldn't afford to hit the wall. That's why I ran the bottom a lot. I hated it, but the only time I ran the top was when there's about a foot curb, and I knew I wasn't going to hit it. This year you might see me bouncing off the wall a couple times.
Don't do that. No hard luck awards this year.
Yeah, well, hey, if I could ride out of it this time instead of bear rolling from 3 to 4, we'll be all right.
Mandy asks, my question is, what is your favorite and least favorite track and why?
So I've only ran 3 tracks. It's only been Lincoln, Baps, and the Grove. I really don't dislike any of them. I think they're all unique and kind of fit my driving style. Yet Grove is a big track. I'm not a huge fan of big tracks, but the tight corners and it normally gets slick to a curve that really fits my driving style. Baps, I mean, you know how that gets. 3 and 4 is either slick to a curve and 1 and 2 is right against the wall, and Lincoln's really the same way. But if I had to pick my favorite, it'd have to be Lincoln. I think that's the raciest track out of all of them on a good night, at least.
I did see Pat. Here in Path has 2 358 shows. Is that something you're gonna try to? Try to make.
That's been on the bucket list. Out of all tracks, Path Valley is the one I've wanted to go to. So this year, depending on how the season goes, at least the first half, I'm planning on venturing out there.
Santos asked anywhere someone could get some merch.
Yeah, I'm actually making merch this year. I have old shirts, $10, limited sizes. But this year I do plan on making new merchandise. There will be a pre-order posted on my racing page, Jayden Wolf Racing, within the next 2 to 4 weeks, right before the season. So we're only going to do pre-orders only this year because every year we've always overbought on shirts and then we were left with a bunch. So plan on not doing that this year, just really pre-orders and maybe get a couple extra. That's about it.
Yeah, we're trying to do the same thing, and we're still waiting for the shirts.
Still waiting.
Couple things here. When we were talking about some other drivers to watch for in the 358 division, Aunt Bay with this little nugget here. Talking about Adam Carberry, said he's running Grove primarily in a select few Lincoln shows. He's going to run 305s more at Bridgeport closer to home. So there's something. And then Santos says, watch out for Logan Spar if we can get that 91 rolling. So that's another name to watch out for.
Oh yeah, in the 600s, me and Logan were battling for the points at Path Valley. We've always raced hard every time we race each other. So it was neat seeing him in a sprint car. For the few races he had under his belt, and he ain't scared of the car. That's what I like to see in some of these newer drivers, not being afraid and actually being consistent. So I think he's going to be one to watch out for this coming year.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, his story and yours is kind of similar where different but similar where it's like, man, you can see the ability and the talent, just got to get some opportunities. And in this world, it's, talking to Aiden Hare, right? It's hard to get an opportunity in somebody's 410 ride if you never drove a 410. And it's like, what do you do, right? You sell your 358 stuff to get a 410, or you barely getting your 358 together, get into someone else's 358 and they don't have intentions of going up. So how do you ever get to that next level in a sense? But, there's nothing wrong. You're a young guy. There's nothing wrong with another year doing this and kicking everybody's ass. And then they're going to want you out, right? They're going to help you find a ride to get the hell out of the division. So that might be where it ends up being. So, no, man. So let's go through it here. Let me ask you this. If you looked at your schedule and you kind of look ahead, is there any one race that you want to win more than another?
Man, I want to win them all, but if I had to pick one, it's that Port Royal race. After watching Aiden go and whoop everybody last year on the top, man, I want that race more than anything, I think. Just because it's a unique track. We only get it once a year. That's the track I think I want to win at the most.
We've been practicing. You named a few sponsors earlier. So right now it's your turn. You're in victory lane. You get out of the car. Who are the sponsors you need to thank?
I got to thank H&H, General Excavating. They've been my longest sponsors, sticking around. RHI Magnesita, L&M Tire Wheel. Oh my gosh. McConkey Insurance, Color Wheel Flooring of America, Go Big Auto, Smitty Soft Pretzels, Works Performance, A1 Security, Heather's Nails and Tanning, Wolf's Plumbing. Oh man, there's a lot of new ones that came on board, and I get flustered. I can't think of them all, but those are the main ones. And if I forgot anybody, I am terribly sorry. I'm not good at remembering. My memory is terrible.
It'll be a little bit easier when you're in victory lane because you'll have the car right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do that a lot. You'll see me peeking back, looking at the car, and I feel terrible. I'm in the moment too much, and I can't think properly. I get flustered.
So, last question for me. Last season, you had to run the bottom a lot. You said it was frustrating. Is there anybody that you said, I don't ever want to be behind and try to pass this person again?
Oh, Wyatt Hinkle all day. Oh my gosh. Trying to pass him is the hardest. He'll take your nose off going in the corner all day. I mean, we've raced hard we've never made contact, but man, there has been times where we have been so close. And I thought for sure one night with the Adam Carberry situation when we're all
Mhm.
three of us were under a blanket, I thought for sure one of us were going in the infield. It was terrible.
Is that the video I have of you? Is that the video I sent? Okay, I had
I
video of
think
that night,
so.
didn't I? I think because I forget did Adam win that race?
Yeah, he ended up getting it.
Yeah, Adam won, but they all ran him down, and then he missed the line, and Jayden dove it in there, and then I don't know how they all didn't freaking crash. And I thought whoever's in third. Were you in third, or was you were in second?
Wyatt was third.
Yeah, and I
He
thought
was in
Wyatt was
third
going
that
to win the
night.
damn thing from third. Like it was the craziest scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. He is kind of big and stubborn, so that checks out. Yeah, that checks out. All right, brother. Hey, we'll get you out of here. We're gonna have a quick show tonight, Jimmy and I, so we can go to bed. Thanks for jumping in again, and look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you this season at Lincoln. I really all those. Who knows? I know
Yeah.
I'll see a lot of them. I do. I don't. I have to look at the schedule when that 358 race at Port is. I want to go see that, and I wish I was there last year for it, and I didn't. I don't know where I was or what I was doing. I know it's on a big show weekend. It was last year anyway.
Yeah.
Somewhere, but hopefully I can get up there and see that thing again. So good luck this season, brother. We'll see you in the pits.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
We'll see you, buddy.
Good
No
luck.
problem.
See ya.
Thank you. Jayden Wolf, everybody. Yeah, I think he's we kind of say this about every driver I think we have on, but he's gonna be a guy that's gonna be in victory lane a lot, I think, this year, especially in that division. He's been showing it the past couple seasons. He definitely has the talent, and like we've been talking about, that 358 division is wide open, and he's definitely going to be one of the top, 4 or 5 guys in that division right off the bat. So let's talk. I don't really have anything prepared. We're just going to kind of talk. Let's talk about Racing Xtravaganza this past Saturday. Well, Friday and Saturday. We were both there on Saturday. Great time. Place was packed. Even with the weather being negative 85 degrees, people still trekked on out. A lot of great looking race cars. Like the way that they had it set up this year. Just they do a fantastic job with it. And it was good to get out, see everybody, see some race cars, get the juices flowing. It really is kind of like a soft kickoff to the year where you start really like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, the season's right around the corner. What stood out to you? We'll talk about paint schemes, but maybe just anything that stood out to you outside of that.
Just how full the parking lot was. I've been there. And usually most years on Saturday. I'm almost a Saturday guy, pretty regularly Saturday.
Mhm.
I couldn't believe how far away I had to park and how full it was, which is super super good thing. That's a great sign. The layout was good. Good looking race cars. Everybody seemed to be in a good mood. It's a time of the year where I think it's a lot of positivity from everybody, and
For sure, yeah.
it's great to get back and see everybody, and talk to some folks at the tracks and other photographers I got to see that I haven't seen since the fall. Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah, bugged out for a second there. But what stood out to me was just the participation, whether it's from drivers, teams, and or fans. The participation was great for a small show. It really seemed loud and noisy and busy.
Yeah. It feels like every year I go there, there's more and more cars there too. You know what I mean? It just felt like there were a ton of cars there this year, which is a good sign that people are, you know, guys are getting ready. You know what I mean? Not like Jayden was saying, like sometimes the stuff doesn't just come together until like the week before they're about to go racing. Saw a lot of cars there. Um, Not just sprint cars. I mean, you had a lot of late models there. Micros, the PO micro midgets were there. Representation from just about every single track.
Quarter
The
midgets. I mean,
series quarter
little.
midgets. Yes, the quarter midgets. We got some really good interviews that'll be coming out throughout the week. With a couple different drivers, some young drivers. You saw Wyatt Reed. You posted that on yesterday, and then we have a couple others coming up this week. Just a really good time. I didn't get there till late, and I still felt there's still a ton of people there and yeah, just an overall good time. I was happy to make the trip down there and see all that. What do you think the best looking race car was? There's a couple really good ones. Troy Wagaman did win Best in Show. Who won the? I can't remember who won the People's Choice or something. Somebody
I thought
knows.
he
Put
won
it in the chat.
People's Choice.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought Troy won Best in Show, and
Maybe
then
it was.
somebody else won People's Choice. I could be the other way. It could be the other way around.
Yeah, I think I saw. I thought one of the modifieds won.
Maybe that was it.
Somebody will answer here, but man, there was a few. Troy's car is really sharp in person.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of a clean race car, so like Cam Smith, that just simplistic blue and orange. That
Yep.
yeah, there it is. The Sportsman
Shannon
modified.
Splotter was
Yeah,
the People's Choice.
that checks out. That's what
Thank
I
you,
thought I
Tyler.
heard. Tyler would know that. I think like Cam Smith's car looks good to me in my eyes. It seems like that red neon red orange is seems to be the thing this year.
Yeah.
Hint preview for what you're going to see in the next day or so.
Yeah.
Maybe from somebody.
The reflective,
A
like
little
that.
bit of yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So I think Troy's car was good. I personally, and I've been on this island apparently, not many else. Cole Knobb's car, man, that the color scheme, the design is similar to last year, like their top wing, the way they did it. But that Eagle Aviation logo and the colors they picked to go with it, the black, red, gold, chrome headers, like I for whatever reason, man, it just looked really good. And I'm saving my other favorite because it's your favorite. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you talk about your favorite. But I think Troy, Cole, they're two of my big car favorites.
Mhm.
Just pretty. I don't know how they'll look on the racetrack, but they were pleasing to my eye in that building.
Yeah. Troy's was definitely, I think, overall just one of the probably the best one. I did like Cole Knops. Cole Knops one. I think that one's cool. It reminded me of the old Mark because of the 6 font, of course, but it's Eagle Aviation. It reminded me of the old Eagle 6 Mark Martin car that he had, which I'm wondering, I'm sure was the inspiration behind it. It looks really good. Austin Reed's car, so nice, so good. That was my favorite. You pointed it out to me from far away, and I'm looking. I'm like, man, that looks really good. And then we got closer to it, and you saw the like the sparkly reflective gold in it. Man, that thing is sharp. It is so nice looking. That thing is gonna look great. Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite out between him and Troy. Were probably my 2 favorite. Logan Rumsey's was great. Helped set that T2T stickers up there. Shout out to them for putting that on there. But it looks really, really good this year. I like it. There were a couple, and I'm a sucker for matte black and gold. That's one of my favorite combinations. Matte black, especially like the carbon fiber matte black finish. That's always a winner for me. And there's a pair of like micros that had that, and they looked really good. I'm sorry if I don't remember the name, but they looked
77. Was it a
yeah.
77?
They were
Or no, an
parked like
11.
this. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
parked in looked like facing each other. Those looked awesome too. And like I said, it was like a matte black with a reflective gold. That'll get me every time. But yeah, those are my favorites.
Yeah,
They
and
all good.
talk about
Oh,
Austin
Wyatt
Reed's
Hinkle's
car.
too.
Wyatt's so sharp. I love the number on Wyatt's car. The way the reflective
Mhm.
does reflect and it changes, and he always has a good looking race car.
He
Wyatt's
does.
is good. For a change up. He's had the white for a while. I really like the change up. But Austin Reed, that car, you know, that gold reflective we've seen, it's great. I like the red they chose to go with it. It's not really red, it's red orange. And it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it offset the gold in
Yeah.
such a nice, like subtle, classy way. I don't it's weird to say on a sprint car classy, but
Mhm.
like and the other thing you pointed out in his car, which you could go back and forth on this. a lot of the sponsor logos color match the car. They didn't
Yes.
have their own colors of their own company, which was kind of cool. And it was a lot of smaller ones, but they made the logos to match the color scheme of the car,
I love when they're
whether
able
they
to
were
do
gold
that.
or the red. Yeah. So I was like, man, I hate to get that car dirty. It's a show car. It was so pretty. Like, hate getting it dirty and all dinged up,
Mhm.
but
I like the
really
font
good. And
too, the font that they
yeah,
used and everything. Just the whole thing about it came together really, really nicely. But yeah, that's another thing too, is just when they could get the logos for all the sponsors, even the smaller sponsors, it just adds to the whole package.
yeah. And for me, consolation prize is Aiden Hare's car. All those on the
I was just gonna
stage.
say that. Yep.
It's hard to like. And I saw Jessica come up there, and I'm not saying this because she came in the comments.
Yeah.
They
That was
bring a
the
good
one up
looking
on
car.
stage, right?
Every year I've
Yeah.
ever seen that car or him in a big car. It's been a good looking race car.
Mhm.
It was a change from last year, and it was a pretty significant change, but it was sort of the theme that they've done with the dark and the gray and the black, and but a good looking race car. I did tell them when they go to Williams Grove and that thing sails off into 1 and 2 and they're in a trailer because they're going to be a 410 team and they're parked off of turn 4 and he sails it off into 1 and 2, it's going to disappear. I said, you ain't going to be able to see the damn thing. So they're probably preparing to put some other color, white or something on it so they can see what the car's doing. But yeah, beautiful race cars. There was even an extreme stock. It was like pink and white. Like I liked it.
They
I'm a
all look
sucker for a
they
pink
all
race
look good
car.
right now. They all look
They'll
good
look
right now too. They haven't
clean,
hit
no
the
bent
track
up
yet. They're nice and
fenders,
clean. Yeah, they're show ready.
Yeah.
Of course,
I
they
did
all
say that.
look
I was
really
like, "Wait
good.
till it gets muddy, then we'll see what it looks like." So, yeah, there was a lot of good looking race cars for sure.
Um, yeah, just they all looked really good. Um, in Matt Campbell's car and Bollinger's car, and again, just a
Matt's
great.
car, just simple, clean, that black, red, and
Yep.
silver. You just can't go wrong.
Yeah.
It has like an old Dale Earnhardt vibe to it. One of the guys said, and I'm like, that checks out. Those
Hmm.
colors kind of like it kind of gave you that vibe a little bit for sure. And it's simple and clean. Like I'm okay with something a little more intricate, and I'm also pleasing to something simple and clean. So yeah, I this time of the year I like them all. There's very
Yeah.
few I don't.
Oh
Then
yeah,
you
for
get there and
sure.
you're like,
But there were definitely a couple that really stood out. That will that they'll hold true throughout the entire year. You know what I mean? Alex goes, Jimmy even got autographs. We did. So Alex Robinson was signing autographs, I guess. And this is what we get. You see this?
that's right. You got to interview him like four times last year.
So I told Alex, I said he made the backdrop for the podcast. Congratulations. So now you can't say that we don't like the All Stars because you're always here for now until it falls off. Also got another autograph from a young guy, Wyatt Zinn, that we interviewed. Uh, uh, young kid, won the NASCAR Youth Series, was showing off the ring. You know what I mean? He had the ring, he had the trophies. Wait till you see that interview. That was a pretty fun one. That kid has a bright future. Alex had Santos says that's a pretty cool sign back there, Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, look at that. You like it this way. What sign? Shout out Santos, my boy. That's a Christmas present I got in February.
The light up 19, which by the way,
It's
Brent
a good
Marks
looking race
is
car
scheme. That's
too.
a really good looking race car.
And you know what's crazy? I had to look at it a couple times. I've had to go back and look at Brent's scheme a couple times because clearly I'm a fan and I'm biased. I typically do not like circular patterns on race cars in a design. I don't typically like the circular stuff because it overpowers and it typically isn't symmetrical with like sponsors. It's there, but it's subtle. And
Mhm.
it's there and it's subtle and it like flows well. And I know Brent rarely misses on his schemes, to be honest. And I heard late last year that yellow might come back for 2026. Nobody had it on their radar that the change was going to happen with the team. So when I heard that last fall, and then I started getting wind of this team change merger thing, I was like, maybe yellow won't be back, right? Because things change. Well, the signs come out. The signs come out for Brent. I didn't order one because I'm like, well, if the damn car doesn't end up yellow, what am I going to do with this sign? The damn thing's yellow. Okay. Well, the car comes out, and then Santos ordered this thing early on, and for a gift for me. So thank you. And the car's yellow, so it kind of works out the timing of it, and it's crazy because the team Logan Fenton, the Warrior Buildings, the logos are white, black, and yellow. It just fit. They planned on having yellow way before Fenton, way before like last fall. Joined up with Logan Fenton Racing, and their Warrior Buildings logos are yellow.
Yeah,
gold,
so it already worked
so
out. They didn't have
it just
to worry
worked
about
out.
changing it.
Yeah, so kind of crazy how that worked out, but I like it. I hope it stands the test of time throughout the year, and we enjoy it. Now, I don't know what he's going to do for Knoxville. I don't know how you maybe invert it black.
Just invert the colors. That seems to be a popular thing. You either invert the colors or you make a neon color pattern. That seems to be the way to go. Which I'm fine with. I'm not it's a nice change up for the special shows.
Still say Brent should have went baby blue. We're
man,
dying on that hill.
Yeah, you had that baby blue scheme for iRacing, and come on. Yeah. Somebody needs to do it. If it's not going to be Brent, somebody needs to. There's not enough baby blue cars out there. I'm talking Tar Heel blue, like that kind. Yeah. T2T blue. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Black. Yes, exactly.
All right. So, anything else? Any other final thoughts from Racing Extravaganza other than great time, awesome looking race cars, get you jacked up for the season. They do a fantastic job with the event, between the Miss Racing Extravaganza and all the different panels. You have the drivers come up doing autographs at the different tracks. You have Lance DeWeese was up there talking with I think Gary Stuhler. You had 358, like panels and everything talking. Just a really, really cool, day and a half there. You just go there for a few hours and look at all the race cars. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna turn off I'm watching Modified Features 7500 at Volusia. I'm gonna go back to my notes.
They did interviews earlier. What are they doing?
No, they have like 6 or 8 features, something like that for the modifieds, and they were only on 4. But we were watching
jobs. What we were watching.
Yeah, right. I think what we were watching before was actually a replay of the other night.
It was a replay. Yeah.
So going to my notes here, because we're gonna go over, each of us have our top 5 most anticipated events of 2026. We're keeping it mostly local. And I know we were talking, we don't know what each other's are, but we're not going to do Natty, we're not going to do Weichert, not going to do Tusky, because we look forward to those every single year. We know those are the most anticipated, those are the biggest shows in there. So we're trying to highlight some other parts of the schedule here. So if you guys have some anticipated races that on the schedule, now the schedules are out, that you're looking forward to, put them in the chat. We'll talk about them here. I have a couple listed here. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Do we just want to go back, trade back?
Yeah, we'll just go back and forth. Yeah, I kind of have them ranked, but not really. I'm not like dead set on them.
Me too. I don't think I'm ranking these as like number 1 favorite to 5th favorite. It's hard for me to do that. But and you and I both talked a little bit before the show, like we weren't going to throw in the premier big ones, but I am throwing one of them in. One of them.
Me too. So am I.
It'll be my last one of my 5, but it'll be that. So you go first.
Okay, same.
Your first
That's
one.
Cool. We didn't even talk about that because I did the same thing.
We didn't.
All right. I'm going to do my first one. And I'm not just doing races. I was kind of looking at blocks of the schedule too. So I don't know if this is cheating or not, but I'm looking forward to August 14th and 15th, the PA Sprint Series at Selinsgrove and Clinton County back-to-back nights. I know a lot of people, I'm just looking forward to seeing what that brings. I know that's Knoxville weekend. I don't know exactly how that's going to go. But for me personally, I mean, Those are both in my backyard, so it's pretty cool to be able to have 2 shows like that. I just love when anytime the 410s are at Clinton County. I mean, you could put any 410 show at Clinton County there this year there, but the fact that those 2 are back to back, I'm really looking forward to that weekend. I'm hoping it works out well, and you know, um, even if you get our big names traveling out, it's still going to be great events because Clinton County, even when they run during Kings Royal weekend and Knoxville weekend, they get 30 to 40 cars usually. You know what I mean? Because you don't need a high powered 410 or a 410 at all to run on that track. And it makes it really interesting because you have 305, 358 guys mixing it up with 410 guys up front. And it just makes for a really fun show. And usually that weekend, we've had Dale Blaney come out for that show and some guys from Ohio come out and really kind of fill up that field. They pay pretty well. And then Selinsgrove the night before is just a cool added bonus. So that's my first one.
My first one is not even a sprint car race. Lucas Oil at Baps.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm kind of hyped for it. Kind of hyped to see it. I like late models there. I want to, as a premier division, up on the cushion, ripping around. I'm kind of excited to see it. Big name, big money, first time there. So I'm excited for Luke's Oil Baps. Nothing other than just that, to experience that.
That's about. Is that on a Sunday?
I don't know.
No, that's a Saturday.
People were asking that over
might
the
be
weekend.
Saturday.
I think it's a weekend show. Saturday, April 25th.
Oh, it's early in the year too.
No, that can't be it. Nope, that's not it. Hold on.
I thought it was I don't know.
I'll tag George. There it is. April 25th. Yeah, Saturday, April 25th.
How about it?
Early,
yeah, that's going to be
too.
awesome there. Not just super late models there at Baps, but the Lucas Oil stuff. We went to Lucas Oil at Port Royal, and it's a fun time. Those are definitely the best out there. You know what I mean? And it's different than what we're seeing. A national series like Lucas Oil is different than seeing what we see here at home. And like, we have good racing here at home with the late models, but it's a totally different level. And we know that, just kind of compare it to our local racing compared to when the Outlaws come in. Obviously, I mean, that's the easiest comparison, but just to kind of it just brings it up, not just because of the names, but the racing just gets better. All right, my next one's another kind of a cheater. It's a block of the schedule. June 4th to June 7th. You have Selinsgrove on a Thursday. You have the All-Star Circuit of Champions at Williams Grove on Friday. You have the All-Star Circuit of Champions at Lincoln on Saturday, and you have a BAP show on Sunday. Kind of a mini speed week, kind of right before speed week. It's kind of the first big, couple day in a row thing of the year before we, as the summer starts. And I just think hopefully, you have some good weather. The All-Star races last year, really, really good at Williams Grove and Lincoln. And I didn't make it to any last year, but I watched them and they were fantastic. And then, see what happens with that Thursday show at Selinsgrove and then a Sunday BAP show to cap it off. You get good weather there, man. And if you're in this area and you could get to all 4, man, you're going to be treated with some really good racing. So mostly just the All-Star weekend, but those two other bookends on there just make that whole weekend really, really something that I'm looking forward to this year.
It's a good run. The days and the tracks. Number 2 for me is the Steve Smith race, the final Steve Smith race, $40,000 to win at Lincoln. Man, what else can you say about it, right? The final one, the family put up a lot for it. There's a lot going into it. Should have a lot of a phenomenal field of race cars. One of the biggest paying Lincoln races in maybe ever.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's not a touring race. It's unsanctioned. So,
and a Monday night during speed week, you're gonna get
Monday night during speed week. Yeah, it's the Monday.
You know what I mean? So because that was actually number 2 on my list. So I'll replace that with one of my alternates. But yeah, I agree. I'm hyped for that one too. Big paying race at Lincoln that Monday of speed week. Hope everything works out. They get it in that night. with it being that Monday, you might see sometimes during that week. I'm not just talking about the Kyle Larsons and Christopher Bell or whatever, but touring series guys that might be in the area or something might come in and try to run that on top of everybody that's already running. And usually in the beginning part of Speed Week is when you see the most cars. So that's a good time to have a race like that, and 40 grand to win. I'm hyped for that too. My number 3 would be the new high limit weekend in July at Port. I'm interested. I'm more intrigued on how this is going to work. Obviously, it's just kind of a regular high limit race. It's not the Weikert, it's not the Tusky, but it is a Saturday and a Sunday at Port Royal, July 25th and July 26th. I am interested to see how it goes. And it's right before Summer Nationals, so like that kind of kicks off like. You have Lincoln that Wednesday, I believe. I can't remember if there's anything Friday. Probably Williams Grove Friday. And then you have it's Williams Grove Friday with the PA Sprint Series show, and then you have High Limit, and then the following week you have BAPS, Outlaws, and then Summer Nationals. So like but I'm trying to just stick to that high limit, those 2 days at high limit at Port, because just kind of a regular high limit show there, middle of summer. Some more laps, so you kind of maybe get like a idea of maybe some surprise names that are going to come to Tusky, maybe try to come and run some laps there or not. I don't know, but I'm just intrigued to see what goes on there and excited for that. I'm excited for another high limit weekend.
My number 3 is, if anybody, you listen to this show, that I'm a fan of this. It's the Spring BAPS 410 358 show. Simple, nothing crazy. I'm a fan of that combo. I've been begging for more of that combo. I've been begging for more 358s. We're going to get them. Damn, I already put 2 BAPS on my top 5 here. Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. That 410 358 show in the springtime at BAPS. Our good buddy Kyle Keene almost won that 358 show a couple years ago and didn't make it. Almost made it. But no, I'm excited for that
one. My number 2 was the Steve Smith tribute race, so I'm going to go on to my alternates. I have 3 alternates. I'll end up saying them anyway. But this is what I've been talking about since the schedule came out. That Wednesday night show, the end of September at Lincoln, right before Natty Open. I'm excited for that one. I think when I first saw it, I loved the move. Because I just think now, knowing that they're going to be you aren't probably going to get any Outlaws anyway, but the fact that they're going to be coming from California now, you're not going to see any Outlaws there, but you might see some other invaders that are going to come in for Natty Open, like high limit guys or whatever, be there that night. It could be a really good car count, a really good way to kick off the Natty Open weekend. You know what I mean? Because even if it rains out Wednesday, you have Thursday, I would imagine, and then you have 3 nights of racing with Natty Open. Just a really cool way to do it. I think Lincoln can really capitalize off of that. I think it was a smart move doing that Wednesday show. Hopefully the weather stays nice and everything works out for them, but I'm very intrigued with that one. I'm looking forward to see how that goes.
You know what? It just hit me. We interviewed Donnie Schatz at National Open, and we made the joke about him being posse. He is even more posse now.
Yeah,
that
right.
Shows up randomly at PA tracks off their schedule.
Yeah.
Donnie Schatz posse confirmed. Okay. My next one is the 410's return to Bedford. Like low key, kind of a cool racetrack for the 410s. Now, if I recall, Anthony Macri whooped everyone's ass there a couple years back in an All-Star show or something.
Yeah, All-Stars.
Maybe my memory isn't really good, but as much as we kind of like make fun of our buddy Andy from Bedford and Bedford in general, kind of excited to see the 410s back at Bedford.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to make either one of the 2 races there, but I'm really excited to watch both of them. I want to get to Bedford one time. That's one of the few tracks I haven't been able to get to. But yeah, I'm excited for that too. I think when the All-Stars used to go there, the racing could be really, really good. It's another bigger, longer straightaway type of track. You know what I mean? But
it goes uphill and downhill.
Yeah, it goes uphill, downhill, and It's a very
Crazy.
unique place. You have the covered, the Victory Lane, the covered stage
covered
on the
stand.
infield,
Mhm.
and then obviously it goes up and down. It's a very interesting track and can make for some interesting racing for the 410s. All right, here's my number one. And when we said this is my big one, and it's not even in the area, just because I'm finally going to be able to go to it, it's Kings Royal. Just that whole Ohio trip, that's the thing I'm obviously looking the most forward to. But I'm really excited to get to Eldora and specifically the Kings Royal. It's been a bucket list race for me to always go to, and the fact that I'm finally going to be able to go to it, super excited. Yeah, that's number one for me. Very easy.
And mine is Weichert. So we
Oh
actually
yeah.
ended up with the like duh, but that is becoming the event. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we talk about the National Open, we talk about the Tuscarora 15. There's history and nostalgia, and they are amazing. This Weichert and what Port Royal and Flo and High Limit are pouring into this, and Danny and the sponsors, the Weichert is I'm using the word. It's a crown jewel in Pennsylvania. It's a crown
Absolutely.
jewel on
Yeah.
the East Coast, and it's very, very quickly becoming a crown jewel you want to win. And they all do, but it's
Mhm.
becoming that term, crown jewel. It didn't just pop out of nowhere. Someone with a bunch of funding. The Weichert's been something people wanted before it was all this money. They wanted the bullhead. Now you got the money. Now you got the flow. You got Port Royal. You got High Limit. The Weichert's the one, man. The Weichert's the one.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's becoming. It doesn't overshadow the Tusky yet, just because the Tusky you have the fair and everything going on. It's a totally different vibe, and it's the finale for the track, and it's the Tusky 50. It has all the history. But the Weichert, man, it's definitely becoming top 15 race in the country. Easy, not just because of the pay, but the trophy. We talk about it every year, and that's something that every driver brings up is the trophy, the format, just the sheer competition that comes in here to run that. I mean, that's the one race you don't get that for Tusky. You get it for Weichert, where you have these outlaw guys. At least you used to be able to. They won't be able to anymore the way they schedule. Used to have David Gravel. I mean, I remember one year it was David Gravel, Brad Sweet, Brett Marks when he was on the tour, and both Shark cars. They came out and then they get weather delayed a little bit. It ended up running pretty late in the Sunday. They came out though on the Outlaw. They were on the Outlaw tour, and Donnie Schatz came in and ran a late model because late models were part of it. And they came in and they had to go back to Indiana for Monday. But that race meant a lot for them to come. Is because Weichert, especially like David Gravel, they made it a point to come to that race and then go back, and make that sacrifice and make that extra travel. And they were still doing it as long as they could. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is. It's really like you're saying. It's becoming one of those crown jewel events. You don't do that for just a regular big paying race. You do it because the race is special. So,
I have a question for you, and I feel like I know this answer, but I don't want to feel like an idiot. What are the trophies on the prelim nights of Weichert?
hmm,
Because my brain is like, we should have
is it
baby
a smaller?
bullheads.
I was just gonna say, is it a smaller bullhead or maybe not? I
I
don't know.
don't
I don't
think it
think it is.
is.
I
I
think
don't
it's just
think
a
it
regular
is.
trophy.
I
But
think
that
it's
would
a
be
regular
cool.
trophy, which is fine. But it would be neat if they did smaller versions. And you go, hey, I want a prelim night
Yeah, and
at
you have a baby bull.
at the Weichert, and you got a baby bullhead. Like, they can actually make this into all 3 nights are important and matter, right? Everyone
You're right.
wants the big bullhead, but hey, I did win a prelim, a
Mhm.
mini bullhead, because everybody's trying to win all of them.
Yep.
I don't know. Hey, Port Royal, there you go. There's your idea for the day. Hell, they
I
probably already did it.
I had 2 other honorable mentions on my list. And this is one that's probably say it every year, but it's more intriguing this year than it has been, is the Labor Day Classic at Port Royal. It's part of the series. It's off the back-to-back at Lincoln for their Labor Day races. And I just think that race somehow gets better and I don't know, better and better every year, but it's such a fun day. It's a good way to celebrate Labor Day, but I like the way they did it last year was just all 410s, and then they had the 4 cylinders or whatever after as like kind of like a, hey, you want to stay and watch some extra racing or whatever, but they get all the 410 stuff in. Obviously, I would imagine they're going to do some type of time trials or something like that because it is a series race. It's going to be bumped up purse, you know. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And then the Selinsgrove National Open, October 9th and October 10th, also part of the PA Sprint Series. They get back-to-back nights, Friday and Saturday, right after National Open at Williams Grove. I'm hoping that turns out well for them. That's always a good one every year. But part of the series now and everything kind of bumps it up just that little bit. Yeah, so those are two of my other honorable mentions.
My honorable mention, any day race, because
Yeah.
I'm a day race fan. As a
Same.
photographer, I'm a day race fan. And honorable mention is any race that gets rained out the night before and they run it as a
Oh, hell yeah.
earlier the next day, like the Williams Grove Natty Open the other year when they ran it at like afternoon time and it was
Yeah.
one of the best races of all time. I'm here for that. So tracks, take note. It's okay if you get rained out or fogged out the night before and you come back the next day and you have 2 races that day, clear the stands, bring them all back, and you race one of them in the daytime. Give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
I agree. Let's get to some of you guys have been chiming in a lot with these. I'm gonna try to go all the way back to the beginning here. Mandy says the Weldon Sterner race at Lincoln. That's always a big one. The
Love
Mitch Smith
Sterner. I love that one.
Mitch Smith Memorial says Brad Weatherby. That's a good one. Matt Bird also agrees on the Steve Smith race. Brent Shue, the World of Outlaw late models of Selinsgrove. That's going to be a big race for them. That's pretty cool to see them get back there. World of Outlaws late models are pretty cool. Remember seeing them. I think they used to race at Selinsgrove way back, but Williams Grove, and I saw them at Bloomsburg that one time. They were pretty good. So, Chris Gray says highlight each track's opening day more. Marie says Williams Grove opener, never miss a national open with my sons. USAC at the Grove and USAC at Port Royal. Yeah, the USAC weekend, like kind of overlooked that a little bit. That's always a fun time that whole week. Again, this year, I can't believe we have to choose between USAC at Kutztown and Path Valley, 410s at Path Valley that Sunday.
Now I will miss them all. I'm going to be out of town.
It'll be a good time to have some buy those buy the streaming pass, help support the track and still watch it. Daniel Lee says the Fallen Fighters race at Lincoln, that was a blast last year. Looking forward to getting back to that. Saturday at Baps, Sunday at Hagerstown. He was talking about Lucas Oil. So it's Saturday and a little back to back there. Amanda says any race at Selinsgrove and to go out to Lernerville again. Lernerville would be cool. I want to get out there. That would be one day. I have to look and see maybe that weekend before. Maybe because I'm traveling out that Friday, Saturday, Sunday before. Like then it's like Fremont, Attica, and then Kings Royal. I wonder if Lernerville has a race like maybe Friday or Saturday I could hit. Saturday against the Kaufman. Oh, that's when the late model races. Magby says Lucas Oil and World of Outlaw late models at Selinsgrove. Mandy says really hoping to get back to Selinsgrove or Clinton County, or even better, see 410s at Bedford or Path Valley again. I agree on all 4 of those tracks. Those are a good time. I think that's something where this PA Sprint Series is really exposing these tracks to some new fans and vice versa, and can really they put on some good racing. Let's see here. Tim Anderson Jr. Saturday, May 16th at Port Royal, the PA 410 Sprint Series. Oh yeah, this is a good one. The PA Posse 410 Sprint Series, 7,500 to win, and the Empire Sprint Series 360 Sprint Car Challenge, 4,000 to win. So you have the New York, pretty much they're based out of pretty much upstate New York, 360 series. They're going to be coming down to Port Royal to run. You'll probably see a bunch of double duty cars. You know, I know usually Chase Deach tries to do that. I know I think Lucas Wolf has done that before. A couple other guys that have it. Be able to run both of those. That should be an interesting to watch. Brandon Zirk says bucket list for 2026 is Bedford and Bridgeport. Bridgeport's another one for sure. Santos, number 1, Lucas Oil at Baps. Number 2, a Clinton County Series race. Number 3, 410,
Wait,
350.
wait.
Go ahead.
Can you go back to that May 16th, the
Yep.
Port Royal?
Yeah.
The next day, Babs has a 410 race.
Look at that.
On
Well,
Sunday.
that's a hell of a weekend, man.
Yeah, that's a hell of a weekend right there. And so the 16th, Babs is off. So I can go to Port,
You could go to
watch
both.
this,
Yeah.
and then Sunday go to Babs. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Mark that down. Yeah, I'm excited just to see that because that 360 series is a pretty strong series. See them come down and race the few 360s that we have, but I'm sure there'll be 358s there that, I know they do it with URC. I don't know how they're going to do the rules with ESS, but yeah, should be fun to watch.
I think it's I think it's pretty similar.
I don't
But
see
I
why
mean,
they wouldn't.
URC, it seems like they're barely trying to race at this point. So come on down, ESS. We're here for it.
Yeah, for sure. Back to Santos's number 3 was a 410 358 show at Port. USAC weekend at Port is number 4, and then the 410 return to Bedford is his number 5. That's a good top 5. I like that. Kirsten says Kings Row is on my bucket list too. That is our summer vacation this year. Same. That's awesome. Pretty
Kirsten,
cool.
great job this weekend. And by the way, Racing X, great job. Your initial foray into that world. Kirsten, great job.
Awesome. Tyler Koenig. Number 1, PA Speed Week show at Grandview. Number 2 is the Freedom 76 at Grandview. Number 3 is the Natty Open at Williamsgrove. 4 is the Weldon Sterner Memorial at Lincoln. And number 5, Super Sportsman at Linda's on April 24th. That's interesting. Super Sportsman there. I saw that Sportsman were running that. I think the Wingless Sportsmen are running. Oh, what's the track called? It's outside of Reading. It's new. It's the motorcycle place. What is it called? It's a newer track. They were running a lot of speedsters and micros there. And it's, man, what's it called? Oh, I'm blanking out.
Here.
Yeah, somebody will. It's outside of Reading. But I saw Wingless Super Sportsmen were running there. And that should be pretty interesting.
So April 24th at Linda's, you have that. You had same day, you have 410s, limited late model street stocks at Selinsgrove, and you have 410s, 305s, and Wingless Sportsman at Grove. Not all the same day.
That's insane. Pagoda. Thank you, Tyler. It's Pagoda. Pagoda Motorcycle Club. I think they have motocross tracks there, and they just recently built a micro track. I think about 2 years ago now. It's going into its third year or something like that. Track's not there that long, and they run a lot of speedsters and stuff there, or at least that's the plan. Saw some pictures and stuff of a speedster race they had there last year, and it was pretty good. And so that's a track to kind of keep on the radar if you're in that area. They're going to be having quite a few races there this year. Gary Ferguson, what's going on? Eastern Storm was always cool.
Still is, buddy. Still is. Hey, Gary, go do Eastern Storm. Follow it for the week.
Yeah.
You got the time, brother.
Maurice says heading to Lawrenceburg and Terre Haute for April 11th and 12th for the Use Experts. That's awesome. Lawrenceburg is another track that I want to get to. That one's always one I say that I want to see in iRacing, but I would like to get to in person too. That place is badass.
That's my birthday. What's going on here that weekend? Super Sportsman Extreme Stocks Legends at Baps and PA Print Sprint Series race at, or PA, whatever we're calling it, at Port. Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of pockets of the schedule that are really intriguing when I was going through it and trying to put these together. That's why I couldn't just pick one event. I was trying to pick weekends where it's some really intriguing stuff, especially if you can get good weather and get all those races in. It could be really, really awesome. And there's a couple cool new things this year. Obviously, with the PA Sprint Series, there's some shakeups to the schedule. Nothing, not too much major, but enough that it's gonna shake it up. And I like that we're trying some different things and see how it works. I guess before we get going, thanks everybody for joining us. Talk a little Volusia. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they're
They're
done
on
with.
modified race number
I
4,364.
was gonna say they're still in modified races. Jesus. But tonight's the final night
Well, we
for
have
the ASCS. Wednesday through Saturday, the Outlaws kick off their season down there. Hopefully it warms up for them a little bit. Not that I'm
it's supposed
crying.
to a little bit. A
Yeah,
little bit.
I mean, it's cold down there. I mean, it was colder down in Florida at some places than down there in some places in Canada and Montana. Like it was colder. Like it's kind of crazy when you start thinking like it's mid 30s down in Florida this time of year. You go there to get away from the cold and you can't escape it. It's just how wild it's been. Because we've been talking too. A lot of talk about like, oh, man, are we even going to see the icebreaker in a couple weeks? With how the weather's been, we're in such a deep freeze. We're under like a foot of snow still, and it's not going away. But we're gonna need probably a good solid week of warmer weather before icebreaker to try to. But I don't even want to think about that right now. That's weeks away. Volusia though, hopefully they have good weather. Probably 50 sprints, I would imagine. I know Danny's down there, Macri, Brent was going down there, Chase Dietz, couple that Brock Zierfoss. Brock Zierfoss is running great with the ASCS. He was in the dash again tonight. He's been looking pretty good down there so far with the 360. See what happens with the 410. So there are a couple of our guys to watch down there. Obviously, then you got all the Outlaw guys and probably a bunch of High Limit and other, Brian Brown's down there. Tyler Courtney looks really good. He's looking like he's getting back into form pretty quick. So I'm excited just to watch some sprint car racing. I don't really have any other thoughts of, because it's so early. It's kind of like a preseason thing, even though it is part of the season. Like we've seen guys go out there, have a great first week and then do nothing the rest of the year. And then vice versa, have an absolutely horrible first week. And it's just kind of like a shakedown week, but with some of the best competition in the country. I'm really looking forward for Donnie Schatz trying to get off on the right foot, at least running, let's see how this pairing works with him and CJB. And he's good down in Volusia. We talked about this last week. That's kind of the one thing I'm kind of keeping an eye on is to see how good of a start they could get off to. If they can, I think that's a positive thing. If they can, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, like I said, it's so early. But yeah, what are you looking forward to?
So I don't know if I'm looking forward to it as much as I'm interested in the storylines. And there's no shortage of storylines in Volusia.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Schatz, Sheldon, the 7 BC with Courtney coming back, right? We've already seen a preview a little bit. Gio and the new deal. Brent with a whole new everything, like starting over, right? Everything but the number. Buddy, can he get a better start than last year?
Yeah.
Can Gravel continue momentum, right? Macedo raced in the off season here, there, everywhere. Great. The other one I'm watching is Cole Macedo. And the reason I'm watching Cole Macedo, pretty good off season in Australia, showed some flashes, showed some speed, big jump in year 2. Can Garrett Williamson back up his year from last year?
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's so many storylines.
Mm-hmm.
The 7S, right? They showed some signs last year of improvement. Wyndham, we're like, whoa, hey, can that continue? Can he continue to grow? There are just it's endless. And Volusia doesn't tell us the story, but Volusia, if you're a guy who's a title contender, Volusia can set you back.
It can, yeah. You got to get.
It can be a demoralizer.
You got to be
and
top 10 or so every night.
Yeah,
if you're going to keep up with you're going to keep up with the David Gravel, you got to be top 10 or so every night.
And then doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's there. Doesn't matter what year it is. Doesn't matter the conditions. Motors are always a problem. Someone's going to leave there with a gigantic motor bill.
Yep, especially with how
or
cold
multiple people, and it sucks. I hate it, But listen, they all want to get down there. They want to go to Florida. They want to get the season kicked off. They know the risks. They know the risks, and it's possible, and it happens. You just hope it doesn't happen to the wrong team.
Mhm.
The other storyline I'm looking at is Bill Baylaw. Pretty good season.
Yeah.
What's he going to kick off the season with, right? There's just storylines abound, and unfortunately, there's only one winner each night. So, do we end Volusia going, uh-oh, or do we end Volusia going, hey, 50 of the best cars in the world, it's Volusia. That's
Yeah.
part of the deal. Or the guy that takes them and kicks ass at it. Man, is that a preview for what we're going to see the rest of the year? And we've seen it go different ways. So, does it mean like that's how the season's going to go? No. But there's no shortage of storylines on all
No.
of this roster of people.
No,
Changes in crew chiefs, right? Like Logan, Schuhart, where are they going to start? Ashton Torgerson, how's that going to look? Right,
Yeah.
back on the road, traveling, right? So, I mean, it just doesn't end. And then Travelers, are there other guys that are going to come in? Brian Brown's, right? Like coming off the injury, the 360s look good. Will his 410 have that speed? I think Brock Zerfoss is certainly one, right? Like same thing, a little bit of speed here, a little bit of speed.
Let's see what happens when
Tonight's
everybody else comes
apparently
in.
been a mess tonight. He's borrowing a different motor from somebody. The car wouldn't run in hot light. Like just some shit went wrong. But like, what's that 410 program going to look like? Are we gonna see Brent? Are we gonna see Brock make A mains without, through heat races and through time trials? Are we gonna get to see that? So there's just a lot going on there. There was a comment. Brandon Zerk, you see it?
Yep. See Danny's car yet?
Yes, we
Yeah, we
have.
did.
And it sounds like the world is going to tomorrow, from what I've heard. If all goes to schedule, the world should see it tomorrow. And I will say, I think it'll be a favorite.
Yeah.
I think it's going to
Not
be a
bad.
fan favorite.
Not
I
bad.
do. I think it'll be a fan favorite. But yeah, Baylog's new scheme, by the way.
Very
Maybe it's
nice.
just
Yeah.
that white. Listen, everybody knows I'm a fan of white. And yeah. You guys came on as they push the dash. We're still watching Mudpack.
Clayton Meyer says, you guys came on as
we-
they pushed the dash, and we are still watching
Yeah.
Mudpackers and waiting for the feature. That's one thing
We planned this show around this perfectly. Worked out.
with Volusia is, and I understand why they do it. And I think it's a good thing. Hey, you're down there, but man, for watching it at home is brutal. I don't mind watching the modifieds, but I'm not like into it. They have 8 features every night. Plus, then you're gonna have 50 sprint cars. Like sometimes these features, like I gotta go to bed, man. I'll just find out who wins in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially during the weeknight races. So that is the one downfall of it. It's good for them. They get all these people down there. I'm sure it's great for the track and everything. It's a good way to get the season started. Don't get me wrong. Surface looks better. They replaced the surface after Bike Week last year. It's been looking better so far. I know they're not dealing with the most ideal weather conditions either, but we'll see how it goes there. But yeah, there's tons of storylines. Your off-season storylines are now coming to fruition. All the stuff that we talk about during silly season last year, throughout this off-season, it all comes to fruition. It starts this week. And it's going to be interesting. You got to get off to a good start. If you want to be a title contender, you got to get off to a good start. You can have maybe one bad night, but you can't have a bad week, and
Here's the other one. Chase Dietz. Can he improve on his traveling success?
right.
Chase Dietz coming out of the box, some experience last year with the big boys traveling around the country. Are we going to see that next step with that group?
Mhm.
Anthony Macri, right? Our buddy George thinks he's going to have 3,000 wins this year. He's going to have to start winning now to get to
Yeah.
his win number. Our
He
buddy
needs
George
to win to get to
he's
hit
got to win
George's
all
total
3 nights or whatever.
Yeah, he's got to win
So,
the entire week.
How are they going to fare? I don't think
At
I'm
the
not
same,
sure I've ever set the bar for our posse guys to go down there and let's go dominate Volusia. Like I've never
right.
died on that hill, and I still won't. But I want to see is that hopefully that 23 team comes out of the box showing that elite level touring speed at their house.
A big thing that with Volusia though, like unless you're an outlaw team, since this is a big shakedown week for these guys. You know what I mean? Like this is like, hey, we got a bunch of new shit. Let's shake it down. Let's see what we got to do. It's a big kind of like, let's see what we got. Like you're going down to try to compete. Like you're not gonna waste your time to go down if you think you're gonna be out. Danny, Macri, Chase, they're not going down there to think if they're good. But at the same time, like I think if they go down there and they like, hey, feel some things out. All right, now I'm ready for the rest of the season. Is kind of how it can go. You know what I mean? So it's, but again, you know, you don't know what you're gonna see. But how do I want to put that actually?
I think it depends.
I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Listen,
Like it's
I
not like
think I think it depends what your off season was.
Right, exactly.
Did you change your whole program in the off season? Did you change your motor program? Did you change everything around? Did you change your shock program? Did you change a bunch of team members? Or
Right.
hey, we build on something. We're bringing, almost all the same program, and we want to go get to the next
And
step.
continue on that, yeah.
It
Yeah.
just kind of
That's
depends,
kind
and
of-
every team's coming
yeah.
into it in a different way. But I think, like, let's say you're the 23 team, and you listen. Hey, last year we had some success. We went out and traveled. We think we've hit on something. We are ready to go and build on it. We shouldn't have major issue, barring any dumb issues or whatever that can always happen. But like, hey, our program's our program. We're ready to go to the next step. It's ready to perform. Danny, I know, has gone down with new motor programs and a different shock setup and time trialing and it just depends. Like Brent.
Yeah, you're
Brent,
gonna
I
try a
don't
bunch of
think
different
Brent went
things.
to Volusia. I don't think he went to Volusia last year. To my knowledge, serves me. His opening
remember.
was a opening
Yeah.
high limit. I don't think he went to Volusia last year. They're clearly want to go to Volusia, right? We got to get ready for our season. We got to get down. We got all new everything, people, cars, like all. Got to go down and get some laps, right? I don't know where the bar is set. Bar set to go do well, but you got to feel some things out, maybe.
Right.
So I think everybody comes into it in a different place,
I think if you're not running for the outlaw points this week, be something totally different compared to what the outlaw teams do. You know what I mean? I think a couple other intriguing storylines. Tanner Holmes. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
saw a little preview. I'm assuming Dasa Persley is going to be there too. Why wouldn't you? Two guys with new teams, big aspirations for what they're going to do in high limit. Good week to go get things shook out and kind of figure some things out before it really matters for them. So yeah, storylines abound. Everybody's going to have different goals for the week because it all means different to everybody else. But yeah, definitely the outlaw guys are going to be the ones to watch the most, I think, because their season's kicking off. They got to get going for this title fight. Tyler Murray, depending how Stutz does down there this week, may determine the plans for this year. So see how that goes for him. Hopefully it goes well and we see what happens there. Maybe they go out on tour, maybe they don't.
I told him this weekend at the end of the show, I said, the way the weather looks here, I said, leave Florida and head west, go to Texas, go to Vegas,
Yeah.
go to wherever. If we don't race till freaking end of April or something stupid happens, go see you boys.
Yeah. Yep.
I was talking to the Stutz boys. They literally landed from Australia the other day, packing up, heading to Florida.
That's wild.
They just got back and they're heading again. Living on the road, man. Pretty cool.
Brandon Zirk said before, it was when I talked about how cold it was down in Florida. You got iguanas falling out of the trees down there. That's how cold it is. That's insane.
I've seen it. They like freeze temporarily and come back to life when it warms up.
That's
It's the wildest shit
it's
I've
so
ever seen.
weird. Eric Schneck says Bill Baylog will be your 2026 National Open champion. Bold predictions were last week, buddy. Okay. But hey, he could have won it last year, that's for sure. And Manny says, "Give me Bill Baylog here in America." Marie, always thought Volusia sets the stage for the season. The Grove sets for how the season ends. 100%. Oh yeah. Marie says, personally will not be doing the USAC week in Florida. Talk to his mom. So yeah, and Billy Dietrich's car looks good. Green Pop says Brendan's like, I agree, it looks very good this year. Shout out Billy. Anything else? Any other final thoughts here?
No, we're done. This Monday's over. We got a lot of big Mondays coming.
Briggs Danner won at Atlantic City over Justin Grant. It was cool to see Justin Grant make the start there in the quarter midget race down there. Just wanted to throw that out there. He won right over him. But yeah, that's it.
Talked
Go
about
ahead.
it last week. Share, subscribe, tell a friend.
Yes.
Get it out there. We want to keep growing this thing. We appreciate all of you being here, listening in tomorrow, today, whatever day you're listening. If you're not here right now, you're like tomorrow on the show podcast. Thank you so much for your for tuning in. We appreciate all of you very, very much.